What's up everyone, WilliApple here, and today Apple has released the third beta of macOS Sequoia 15. And in this video I'll be showing you what is new inside the software. On my M1 MacBook Air, it came in at 2.95 gigabytes. We got quite a bit to talk about, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing is inside the system settings. So upon opening system settings, you will now see that General is now bolded. It has the same icon, same everything basically, except this now is bold. Along with that, they also updated this icon right here. So before it used to be the system settings icon, but now it's just the generic general settings icon, which is the same icon they used right here, which I think looks a lot nicer, and I really like that Apple changed it. And along with that, we got one minor reorder. So before, Siri used to be down here with all these internet services, which made sense, but I guess Siri is kind of used often on macOS, so they moved Siri right here, which I think is a nice little touch because it's now more convenient to get inside of Siri. It's in between screensaver and wallpaper. And along with Siri settings, we have a couple of changes inside of this main pane. So before, there used to be a toggle about Siri right here. They moved that toggle down here to enable or disable Siri. And they also rephrased this text a little bit as well. I'll have a screenshot of what it said before inside of beta 2, but this is what it says now inside of beta 3. Alright, the next thing has to do with our notification center. So down here before we had three dots, and there would be a section where it would open up settings and then you can clear notifications with that. Now they decided to separate it. So we have edit widgets, a setting button that opens up your notification settings, and then we have a clear all button. I think this is a much better change, as having three dedicated icons down here looks a lot nicer, and it makes a lot more sense that this opens settings, and this X button down here will clear all your notifications. Now, next change is inside of the calculator app. So inside of the calculator app right here, you can see that we now have additional padding around the traffic lights right here. This makes the calculator app look, I don't know, 2 times better, I would say. For some reason, I do not know why, but unfortunately, we do not have an easy way to go back to the main calculator if you accidentally go into the programmer mode or if you're just exploring the calculator. I think this is just a weird way of having the programmer calculator. They honestly should figure out how to add this button to the calculator app, so that's just my overall review of the calculator as of right now. And there should also be animations when switching from basic to scientific, which that will make it look a lot nicer and make it feel snappier. Now, the next thing has to do with Safari. So inside of Safari right here, if we click on this edit button, we see we have some new text right here, drag to reorder. So you were always able to drag and reorder all these sections inside of any macOS version, I think. But we never had the text right here that says drag to reorder, so this is just a little tooltip right here that tells the users how they can drag stuff around. For example, if I wanted my privacy report to go on top, users will now know that they can put the privacy report on top, which they could not know at the time. But now they know that they can drag and reorder to their ideal preferences. Now, the next change is inside of the music app. So if I were to hover right here, this used to be like black and stuff like that, but now it's hovering with gray, which makes a lot more sense inside the music app. I don't know why it was black before, but I think this looks so much better, more consistent across macOS. I do like the fading effect, and I hope they bring it to more apps. Even though it's inconsistent, they really should, because I like that fading quite a bit. Now, next change has to do with the emoji picker. So the emoji picker is now a lot bigger. You can see the emojis look a lot bigger. They do not have the text up here anymore that tells you what section. I honestly think they should bring it back, but I don't know why they would remove such a section that tells you what section of emojis you are. The icons still change down here, as you can see right here. And along with that, we have a couple of glyph icon changes. So the first one is with food and drink. This is now an apple instead of a burger and a cup. There's now a dog instead of a bear. They filled in the smiley face right here. Soccer ball got filled in. Instead of a car coming out of a building, it's now just a car for objects. The light bulb icon changed completely. And instead of all of these symbols, they also added the hearts right here. And they also made this the heart section. But the flag icon still is pretty much the same. I guess it is a little bit different, but it's just using the SF symbols now. And I'm pretty sure these are different, but I did not take a screenshot of it. But tell me in the comments if these are different in beta 2. When you click on this arrow right here. And along with that, you can now use your stickers in supported apps inside the emoji picker. So there's a dedicated stickers button which shows all your stickers, which is really nice to see because certain apps will now be able to use stickers along with text inside the same text field. We'll see how many apps actually support that. This is mainly for Genmoji, but yeah, you can now use stickers. And the emoji picker now comes up quicker. So this could be placebo effect, but it does come up a lot quicker. I remember having to wait a couple of seconds before the emoji picker comes up, but after pressing FN a couple of times, it seems very snappy now, especially when texting. I no longer need to press the emoji key again, just to get to everything that I need, which is a really nice touch. Alright, we got a couple of changes with iPhone mirroring that I would like to highlight. The first one is it now says iPhone 14 Pro instead of your name of your phone, which is WilliApple's iPhone 14 Pro. As you can see right here, it's called WilliApple's iPhone 14 Pro. They just decided to make it just your phone's name. Also, I have not needed to enter my password on my iPhone. It looks like that was an issue inside of Beta 2, which is now fixed inside of Beta 3. We'll repeatedly just ask every time you connected, basically. You might need to wait a couple of minutes before to reproduce the issue, but it looks like that is now completely fixed. You no longer need to enter your password on your phone. Just use iPhone mirroring, which is a nice touch. And I also noticed that all the animations are now crispy smooth. I think I had one appearance where the animations did not function properly, but all the animations now work. Now, it is mentioned in the release notes of macOS 15, but you cannot use Logitech mice to scroll, for example. For example, with my mouse, I can't use the side scroll. They do say to turn off the drivers for the mouse, which I do not really want to do. And if we were to take a look at WilliWidgets, if we were to try opening it, we still have this annoying prompt, unfortunately, that comes up, which means that the app will crash upon pressing don't allow, which you can see right here. I'm just gonna close that. And we cannot modify Mac widgets unless we turn off system integrity protection. I think I'm going to just contact Apple about this and see how we can fix WilliWidgets, because this is getting out of hand. I'm not liking it at all, and it majorly affects my app where I cannot beta test it properly. Alright, this is a big one inside of macOS Sequoia. We got a couple of new performance changes that I like to talk about. So starting off with storage usage. So in beta 2, it was 38.42 gigabytes. Look at how much it is now, 27.47 gigabytes. So I guess Apple accidentally added a bunch of junk stuff or debugging stuff, for example, and they just removed it from beta 3. No big deal. But it was 38.42 gigabytes consistently inside of beta 3, which means that you're going to save a little over 10 gigabytes when updating to beta 3 from beta 2 and even beta 1, if you're still on beta 1. But not only that, we got a huge new thing inside of RAM usage. So after everything reindexes, I look at the RAM usage when I first boot up the Mac. So I make sure to restart. I make sure this is unchecked right here. I close all the apps anyway, but look at the improvement we had. So before we had 4.63 gigabytes inside of beta 2. Inside of beta 3, it is 4.09 gigabytes. When letting it settle, for example, that is a massive improvement. In fact, it's a lot better than Sonoma now. So if you skip Sonoma over RAM usage, I expect this to get a lot better by the time Sequoia finally releases. It might not be Ventura levels quite yet, but this is a much better improvement inside of macOS Sequoia, which I'm really happy to see because RAM usage in Sonoma was my biggest complaint about the software. And macOS Sequoia feels a lot snappier and smooth inside of beta 3. In fact, I'm going to try to use this as my daily driver. Now, I will be keeping Sonoma still for one reason, which is because developers are not allowed to upload apps to App Store Connect on Sequoia right now, but that should change by the time Sequoia releases. But I'm going to try to move over and see how long I can use it for before I decide to just go back. If I say nothing in the next beta, then I successfully use Sequoia, but I will continue trying it every single beta. Those are all the changes that I could find inside of beta 3. Thanks for watching, comment, like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Download my app's WilliWidgets down in the description down below. I have a couple of new widgets coming in a future update to WilliWidgets, which is this run streak and step counter widget. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!